Renegade Immortal, Chapter 614, The Third Ray of Sword Energy. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. A cloud of dust appeared over the horizon. Even rain wouldn't be able to suppress this dust cloud in a short period of time. Countless armored demon soldiers rushed through the cloud of dust on horses, and they all emitted thick killing intent. An antique tower floated above the demon soldiers and moved along with the army. There were demon soldiers with powerful gazes surrounding this tower. At this moment, a ray of light came from the horizon and charged directly at the large army. Before the ray of light closed in, a person walked out from the tower. This person's clothes looked ordinary, but he gave off a sense of majesty. There was a smile on his face as he looked at the ray coming in from the distance and smiled, "Brother Wang, how are you?" The ray of light turned into Wang Lin outside the tower. He looked at the person who came out of the tower and wasn't surprised at all. Instead, he said, "Wang Lin greets the Demon Emperor." This person was the young man who drank with Wang Lin through the night. Back then, Wang Lin wasn't able to see any demonic spiritual energy from this person, but he had a faint feeling that this person was not normal. When he saw this person again as an Ascendant cultivator, he was able to see some clues. There was a fist-sized demon crystal in this person's dantian. Although this demon crystal looked very normal and didn't give off any hint of demonic spiritual energy, this made Wang Lin pay attention to it. As Wang Lin was carefully examining this person, the person who walked out of the tower was also examining Wang Lin. He smiled. "Brother Wang doesn't need to be so polite. You are the messenger the ancestor personally appointed. Your position is equal to mine, so you can just call me by my name, Gu Yun Dun. However, I'm a bit confused. How did you know I was the Demon Emperor?" Wang Lin faintly smiled and said, "I only had my suspicions before. It was only after seeing Brother Gu today that I was sure." After Wang Lin finished speaking, a divine sense continued to beg in Wang Lin's mind. "Master, the master that I, Exuli Gu, most respect, do you have the heart to allow two lovers destined to be paired in life and death only to pass by one another when they are only separated by several dozen feet? Master, I haven't seen that little beauty in 10 years. Wang Lin frowned as he slapped his bag of holding, and Exuli Gu immediately flew out. This time he was smart. He was afraid of angering Wang Lin, so he didn't bring the celestial sword, but came out himself. The moment he appeared, he took his original form and began to repeatedly examining the Demon Emperor. After looking for a long time, he still couldn't find the Emperor's sword. He revealed a helpless expression and sighed, "Could it really be that the little beauty and I are not destined to be together? We haven't seen each other in 10 years, and just like this, a lifetime will pass." It was rare for Exuli Gu to speak so elegantly, but in Wang Lin's ears it was still embarrassing. He clasped his hands at the Demon Emperor and said, "Brother Gu, this is my sword spirit. He had some misunderstanding with your sword spirit." The Demon Emperor looked at Exuli Gu and said, "No problem. I already know of the sword spirit that my niece has been hating for the past 10 years. As he spoke, his hand reached at the void, and a series of crackling sounds came from the space before him. The space itself split open, and the Emperor's sword flew out. "It's you!" The moment the sword appeared, it immediately trembled and released a sword hymn. Then the sword slashed at Exuli Gu, and a ray of sword energy flew out. The helplessness in his eyes disappeared immediately. Luckily, he knew that the little beauty's owner was right there, so he suppressed the lust in his eyes. He revealed a lovesick expression and said to the Emperor's sword, "My dear, we haven't seen each other in 10 years. Call your grandpa Exu. I missed you." As he spoke, he quickly dodged the sword energy. He came out as his spirit, so he had some difficulties dodging the sword energy. Wang Lin's eyes became cold. Although Exuli Gu was only a sword spirit, he was still his property. He could treat Exuli Gu however he liked, but others couldn't. When he saw that the Emperor's sword was about to attack again, and the Emperor wasn't doing anything to stop her, Wang Lin's face sank. He waved his hand, causing a gust of strange wind to flow at the Emperor's sword, which caused the sword energy to tremble. "This aura, it's you! You are that despicable food! Good, it looks like you two are together." The figure of the young girl appeared above the sword. She gave Wang Lin and Exuli Gu a vicious stare, then activated the Emperor's sword without any hesitation. In an instant, the surroundings were filled with celestial spiritual energy, and it charged toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin frowned slightly and let out a cold snort. Now that he was at the Ascendant stage, he was far stronger than back when he was at the late stage of soul transformation. Back then, he indeed dreaded the Emperor's sword, but now, why would he fear a mere sword? The cold snort caused all the sword energy to collapse. The Emperor's sword was about to attack again, but the Emperor reached out and grabbed it. Demon Emperor Gu Yundan smiled and said, "Brother Wang, my niece is mischievous, and this was embarrassing. But although she is a sword spirit, she is not a natural one. She is the daughter of a good friend of mine. Due to certain circumstances, she was changed into a sword spirit." He casually looked at Exuli Gu. However, this look caused Exuli Gu to tremble as if he was about to collapse. Wang Lin's pupil shrank an unnoticeable amount. At that moment, the demon crystal inside the demon emperor suddenly activated. The demonic spiritual energy released wasn't any lesser than a late-stage ascendant cultivator. Wang Lin's face was gloomy. He grabbed Exuli Gu and threw him inside the bag of holding. Then he clasped his hands, said, "That was embarrassing, Brother Gu. I came here to ask you where Demon General Mo Fei is." The demon emperor let out a sigh inside his heart. Originally, he didn't want to get into such an awkward relationship with Wang Lin, but he couldn't stand people bullying Shuang. While Wang Lin's sword spirit hid it very well, he could easily see the lust in the sword spirit's eyes. The demon emperor secretly let out a sigh and said, "Brother Wang, Mo Fei has already become a Vice Commander-in-Chief. He is with the Heaven Commander-in-Chief. Together, they are leading the left army and should have arrived at the Fire Demon Court's Song Tao city." After he finished speaking, he paused for a moment and said, "I have already announced the fact that Wang Lin has become the ancestor's messenger. This will make things easier for Brother Wang. In addition, you hold my yade, so it is like I am personally there. If anyone disrespects you, you can order the Heaven Commander-in-Chief to kill them." With that, he threw a white yade at Wang Lin. There was a very unique demonic air inside the yade. It was extremely difficult to imitate it. Wang Lin's face remained the same. After he accepted the yade, he said, "Many thanks." With that, he clasped his hands, took a step, and disappeared. Gu Yundun looked at the place where Wang Lin disappeared and shook his head. "Wang Lin, when that Zen music entered my ears, I knew we were similar people. I don't want to be on bad terms with you, so I gave you that yade as a sign of good faith. I hope you understand." While they teleported, Exuli Gu's voice entered Wang Lin's Oran soul. "Master, that little beauty," Wang Lin calmly said, "Don't mention this again." He squeezed the yade in his hand and put it inside his bag. With how cunning Wang Lin was, he naturally understood the Demon Emperor's intent. The left army of the Sky Demon Country had 10 million demon soldiers. The earth shook as the soldiers passed by, as if there were countless explosives going off. The Heaven, Eternity, and Desolate Commander-in-Chiefs were leading the army. The Hong, Mystery, and Yellow Vice Commander-in-Chiefs were there to help manage the army. They led the 10 million demon soldiers straight toward the Fire Demon Country's Songto city. At this moment, the Heaven, Eternity, and Desolate Commander-in-Chiefs were all riding different demonic beasts inside the army. The three of them didn't talk to each other. There was a powerful killing aura surrounding the area as the Sky Demon Country's army closed in on Songtao City. In the right side of the large army, Vice Commander-in-Chief Mo Fei rode on a female unicorn-like demonic beast. His eyes were completely calm, and there was a person standing on the tail of his female unicorn. This person was middle-aged, and his eyes were closed. There was a giant sword on his back, and he gave off the air of a celestial. All of a sudden, a thundering explosion came from the horizon. The series of thunderous rumbles seemed to want to suppress the entire 10 million demon soldier army. Within the thunderous rumble, a person suddenly appeared. This person was wearing a black armor and looked like a devil god descending. He was surrounded by devilish energy. His appearance caught the attention of many people. He was Wang Lin. In the blink of an eye, his eyes became cold. Then he took a step and charged toward the army like a meteor. He didn't speak at all. As he charged toward the army, his divine sense spread out and immediately locked onto Mo Fei, who was in the right side of the army. Mo Fei's expression was indifferent as he looked at Wang Lin. The middle-aged man's eyes, which had been closed this whole time, slowly opened. His eyes released a profound light. Before people realized it, Wang Lin closed in, followed by thunderous roars. He flew by countless demon soldiers. Right now, beside the Heaven Commander-in-Chief, the other two Commander-in-Chief's eyes lit up. The killing intent of the 10 million demon soldiers raged in the sky, but Wang Lin completely ignored it. Killing required the right momentum and for him to act before the other even had time to react. Otherwise, if he were to first announce his identity, then take out the Demon Emperor's jade, and then try to kill, he would have lost the opportunity to strike first. This would give the Daolo sword discipline a chance to use Ling Tian Ho's sword energy. I have orders from the Demon Emperor to capture and kill Vice Commander-in-Chief Mo Fei. The rest of you, make way. Wang Lin let out a shout and tossed the Demon Emperor's jade toward the two Commander-in-Chiefs that were about to act. All of this happened in an instant. The Underworld River swept by, and Wang Lin teleported away. Right before he disappeared, he pointed his right index finger forward. Finger of death. The finger of death shot out like a bolt of lightning toward Mo Fei. Mo Fei's expression was calm as he raised his right hand. The middle-aged man behind him's expression became serious. The middle-aged man's hand moved, and his large sword flew out. A vicious boar appeared on the sword. The finger of death was extremely fast, but as it closed in on Mo Fei, it suddenly collapsed and disappeared without a trace. This shocked Mo Fei, but his expression immediately changed as demonic spiritual energy erupted from his body and surrounded him. As for the middle-aged man, he was shocked. Just this moment of shock meant death. Wang Lin's figure suddenly appeared next to the middle-aged man. His finger pointed at him. All of the devilish energy from his armor gathered together to form a devilish flame. This finger was Wang Lin's peak. It was impossible to resist. The middle-aged man's expression changed greatly. With a moment of life or death before him, he was prepared to use Ling Tian Ho's sword energy without any hesitation. However, at this moment, the Underworld River suddenly rose up from the ground. It flew into the sky and turned into the recurrence cycle. Then an invisible force descended, as if this Underworld River was the only thing that existed in this world right now. Everything paused for a moment because of it. During this pause, just as the golden light between the middle-aged man's eyebrows began to flash, Wang Lin's finger landed. The finger landed, and the person died. After cutting off his head, Wang Lin's body flickered. He grabbed the large sword and left. His actions were smooth, clean, and tidy.